Hey everyone, welcome back to Art and Alchemy. I hope you're having a good day. In today's video, we'll set our bullet journals up for the month of September. Do hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to stay updated with my videos. Now grab all your favorite supplies and let's get planning. These are the supplies I'll be using for this month's theme. I'll link them down below in the description box as usual, so go check that out. And yes, I'll be using only one brush pen in this soft yellow color for the entire setup. For the cover page, I started off with the floral illustration using a 0.3 fine liner. I'm drawing all the shapes and outlines first, and I'll do some line shading later. I'll leave a link to the image that I used as a reference for my florals in the description box below. I'm keeping the composition and the line work as simple and clean as I can. Here, I'm filling out this giant S shape using a bold marker. I've been meaning to make a decorative monogram letter for a while now, and I'm so glad I finally decided to do it. At this point, I think just the black and white illustration looks so beautiful with those delicate flowers set against the bold letter. But I did bring in the yellow color and fill the circle shape. Next, I added a bold rectangle to add a little more definition to the illustration. Now, I'm writing the title using a bold gel pen in my favorite cursive font. On the left side of the spread, I decided to add a tiny calendar and a quote. You'll see in the upcoming spreads that I changed some of the spreads with an intention to try layouts that are simpler and straightforward. The quote I'm adding here says, "Grateful for small things, big things, and everything in between." I chose this specific quote for this month as it deeply resonated with the current state of my mind. I've been practicing gratitude lately, and it's truly life-changing. Finally, I added a band of yellow color at the bottom, and the cover page is all complete. The next spread is where I usually set up my monthly calendar, but this time around I'm going back to the basics and setting up a monthly timeline spread just like the original bullet journal method to track my events. This month's theme is actually inspired by one of my oldest spreads from 2021. I've been on a really interesting bullet journal journey since I first started in 2019. Let me know if you'd be interested in it and I can share it with you guys someday. Anyway, coming back to the spread, I'm done finishing the illustration and will now add the title on top. Next, I'm adding the dates and highlighting all the Sundays to make a clear distinction between the weeks. On the right, I have my task dump page where I brain dump all the tasks that come to my mind and I eventually sort them out later. Always remember to leave a lot of space for your brain dump spreads so that you can let your thoughts flow and not worry about having no space. Moving on, we have our monthly focus page on the left. Let's add the title first. Since I chose to keep the spreads and layouts simple, I'm letting the font do all the talking for this spread. This page is for my intention, priorities, books to read, and skills to learn. On the right is my sleep tracker. I'm adding the days of the month on the left and the hours from 10 PM to 9 AM on top. I also added these lines to divide the weeks. This makes tracking easy and efficient. We're finally setting up our weekly spreads here. I first started off with the illustration. The illustration might look a little intimidating at first, but the best part about floral doodles is that it doesn't have to be perfect. Also, if you're going for a minimal setup, you can either choose a simpler doodle or completely skip that step. Now back to the spread. The left page is for my dashboard where I have columns for my weekly tasks, priorities, and notes. On the next couple of pages, I have my daily log. I usually try to cram as many tasks as I can in the first few weeks of the month as I feel the most pumped during that period. For that very reason, I like to set up a 2-spread layout for my first and second weeks most of the time as it gives me a lot of planning space. Here, I added the numbers in this bold numeric font and the days in a delicate cursive font. These fonts go well together all the time and it's my favorite font combination. Let's quickly finish up the rest of the spread. Meanwhile, I want to talk about why I chose to use only one color this time. I recently realized that I've been spending way too much time to set up my bullet journal spreads, especially the weeklies. So I decided to cut everything down to basics, right from the supplies I use to the spread layouts. Also, using a single color made me push my creative boundaries and let me explore ways to make the spreads interesting even with minimal supplies. So will I be doing this again in the future? Definitely. As you can see here, we're done with the weekly spread, which means it's finally time for the flip through. I love how clean and simple these spreads look. There's something about the black, white, and yellow color combination that I always find super interesting. I hope you enjoyed this setup and I really appreciate you guys sticking around till the end. Feel free to recreate the theme and don't forget to tag me on Instagram if you do. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye everyone.